Hello, let's do the Netflix puzzled Starstruck for April 3rd. We'll do the easy, then the hard. The easy is called Big Mark. All right, the way we play this game is in each row, each column, and each colored region, we need to place exactly one star. In addition, stars can't touch each other. So a star here and a star here, that would break the rules. Okay, so is there like a really obvious start or just a super obvious start? Okay, so whenever you see a two-cell region, it's always good to just plonk the result of that. Because, excuse me, because it's going to use up the column. The star is going to have to be in this region, and so that's going to end up in this column. So the rest of the column is out. But also, a little bit more subtle, is it takes away the two from the left and the two from the right, because they would always touch the red star wherever it goes. And now indigo up here is doing the same thing. It's removing from the column. And that leaves only one place in yellow, so we must place it there. And now there's only two places left in gray. That's going to use up the rest of the row. And also probably not necessary, but I will note that this one can't be it because it does touch both grays as well. Now this is down to a two cell, and so we remove all those. And that places the star in orange, which places in red. Okay, places in blue. Green is down to these two, so these are out. And, oh, sorry, green is not down to those two, but the row was. So let me do that again. It's the same result, but this row needs a star, and it's down to these two. So it's going to place it in green, which is going to remove from the rest of green. But also this is now a two-cell region. This is a two-cell thing, and so it removes from the two above it. Okay, now brown has to be at the top, so basically the only place for a star in this row is right there. And, okay, gray gives us that. We get green, and we get brown, and we're done. All right, that was a semi-interesting one for an easy. Still on the easier side. I wouldn't ever make that one a hard, but that's not a problem because it's classified as easy. So that's actually a good easy. Okay, let's play gate. All right, so the first thing I'm seeing actually a few things, but the first thing I'm seeing is this left column must place a star in indigo because it's the only color in that column. So the rest of indigo is out. I'm also seeing this three-cell formation. That's going to remove from here, which touches all three of them, for what it's worth. Let's see. These brackets are interesting that kind of surround each other. Okay, so I'm seeing green and orange here are lining up. Is this the one I wanted to call bronze, or is it this one? Which one's more bronzy? I feel like this one's more bronzy. I don't know, but it's also really orange. We're gonna call this one bronze. Okay, so bronze and green line up in these two columns. So these two columns, there's going to be two stars. One's going to be in green, one's going to be in bronze, just because that's how they're going to have to do it. So the rest of the column can't be in. And that leaves two left for yellow. So it's going to remove from all of these. Two left for blue. So it's going to remove from all of these. And three left for gray, which removes from the rest of that column. Now brown's going to use this column. And now red's going to use that column. Interesting. So it kind of had the opposite effect on this bracket. Now, is there more I can do here? Obviously, there should be. What is it? I'm looking to see what the biggest consequence of what we just did is. It should be in the rows, but I'm not seeing it. Because we used the columns to eliminate cells, so the row should have been affected, if anything. I wonder if there's a lineup I can do. There is actually something with this blue and yellow that's interesting. I'm going to pull out my pen to help demonstrate. So, I mean, if we were to place a star here, we can't put it in yellow up there. So the yellow ends up down here, right? Or the opposite would happen, right? If we put a star down here, we can't put it here in yellow, so it ends up here. So basically, there's a relationship here where one of these two must be a star and one of these two must be a star. And so that gives us an additional formation to use. And so that actually affects gray here because this cell here touches the blue and is in the same row as the yellow. And since we must have a star in one of them, this has to be out. I don't know that we get more out of this though. Can I use that to any bigger effect? I'm not seeing it. Ooh. Another interesting effect is a star here is going to force a star on one of these two, which then, if we look up, a star here takes out of here, and then this column needs to place here. So here, here, and so we kind of have the opposite effect. So there's actually an additional step, right? This takes out of here, but then forces here. So we either have these two in, or we have these two in. And I don't know what to do with that, but it's an interesting observation. Nonetheless. Anything I can do with brown? It's kind of split up. There. There's got to be something I'm missing. I'm going to look more closely at the rows. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be rows. Is there anything that lines up that can I group things? The 4 brackets? Ah, okay. No, that doesn't help me at all. I was thinking, oh, the 4 brackets now take up 4 columns, but that's basically what we already saw. Doesn't do anything new. Is it gray related? Like this gray would force up here, but I don't. Ooh, so like everything hinges, like it's like there's 2 worlds. Let me show you what I mean. There's the red world, which removes from here, which forces this. Which removes from here, which forces this, which then forces that. Like there's that world, which affects gray, right? It puts this in gray. It's kind of what I was seeing in addition. And then let's make the green world. The green world is if we start here. This is kind of what I was fishing around it with in my head. I don't know if it goes anywhere though. Would put a star here, and then that puts a star here. So actually, I guess it's always in one of these two, huh? I don't know if I want to use that, but so these worlds overlap, right? That star is always true, but that actually can't happen because these stars are next to each other. So actually, the green world doesn't work because it breaks gray. Now, is there a cleaner way to see that? I'd already kind of seen this in my head, that this forces that, and that lines up with these two. So that's no good. But is there a kind of a more straightforward way to see that? Or do I just have kind of trust that process? I might have to just trust that process. Like we kind of have this diagonal line here, and we have this diagonal line here, where you need every other. And when you think about it that way, it's clear that this world takes that, and it takes out from the 2 gray. So I'm going to say that world's not possible, and we're going to solve the puzzle. So this is our star. And that places this star, which places that star and that star. That gives us gray. All right. Red's down to these 3. It takes out from that and that touch all 3. Brown is down to these 2. What am I missing now? Gotta be something easy, right? There's not that many stars left to place. Huh. Do I want to take a look at the 2 options for brown? They don't really... Well, this brown is much more powerful. Oops. It forces this guy. And this guy. I mean, I think it just solves it. So what's wrong with this brown? Huh. Maybe there's just a... is there something we can line up? Yeah. These 3 rows. And we really just... I mean, these are all X'd out, so we really just have to pay attention to this area here. But we in this little square here, we well, it's not a square, in this rectangle that I've sectioned off here. Oh, come on. That I've sectioned off here. We need 3 stars because it's 3 rows. Unfortunately, oh, brown is there though. I did not see that right in my head. Drawing it out cleared it up. Never mind. It's not that. I don't think there's a lineup. I mean, it's just... This star here... there must be something about, forgive my like exploratory stuff here, but because I could solve the puzzle right now. Just place a star there and it solves. I'm pretty sure. I think I saw that in my head. But there must be something about this 3x3 area that we can talk about, saying we can't put 3 stars in there. I think that's what's important. And yeah, I don't think you can fit. Can you fit 3 stars in this area? That's something I haven't thought about. Can a 3x3 area have 2 stars without any region involvement? Obviously, a star in the middle is not going to be possible because that takes out from all of them, but that's already X'd out. But, well, we can think about, well, where are we going to put it? Here or here? You can have 2 stars, but you can't have 3, right? Because orange is going to, if we wanted, yeah, a 3x3 area cannot have 2 stars in it. That's interesting. I knew a 2x2 area can only have 1 star. I did not know a 3x3 could only have 1 star. No, sorry, it can't have 3 stars. It can't have 2. It can't have 3. There might be some way to grow from the 2x2 to see that, but anyway, this is how I'm seeing it. Is there's only 2 options in this column. Like just naturally, if you were to put a star in the middle, you're only going to get the 1 star. We're trying to place 3 of them, so we can't place it there. But if we try to, so then this column's going to need one of them. And wherever we place it, notice that it eliminates anywhere you could put it in this row. And we need 1 in each row and 1 in each column. I guess if you think about how would you place 1 star in each row and 1 star in each column in a 3x3, it's just not possible to do. Because as soon as you place 1 star anywhere, it's going to eliminate all 3 that it touches. So that's pretty obvious. So a 3x3 area cannot have 3 stars in it. But if we were to place a star here, we're forcing this 3x3 area to have the 3 remaining stars, and that's not allowed. So that's an interesting way to look at it. So that's out. That places this star. This row needs it here. And then we get this one and this one. All right. That was an interesting diversion. I hadn't thought about that before. That might come in handy in the future. All right, cool. Well, how'd you do?